You mentioned the fact that we didn't qualify for the World Cup until our
foreign
players started playing for the Super Eagles.
It's when you say that, look at Shegun.
Florence's achievements alone, 4 AFCONs, 4 World Cups, 1 Olympics, 14 years as the Super Falcons, they need to be recognized.
Everybody's talking about the Mission X, but if we didn't have 1 to 9, there won't be the 10th. So I think yes, but not cash. Certainly not cash, in my opinion, because even the cash given to the Falcons, I thought it was too much.
This is Sports Zone on Lagos Talks 91.3.
For President Ahmed Bola Tinubu.
Why, do you have corn in your pocket?
No.
Have you been conned?
No.
Who is President Ahmed Bola Tinubu?
Sorry, Ahmed Bola Tinubu.
No. That's not the way to call his name.
Is his name not Ahmed? His name
no, that's not. No.
Okay, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
You learned something.
Jagaban. Anyways, kudos to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for gifting the Super the Tigress.
No, the Tigress.
It's the Super the Tigress. I'm christening them Super the Tigress for winning their 5th tournament in a row and going unbeaten on the continent for 10 years straight. You know, I was having a discussion with our guests before we came online whether the Super Falcons went 5 AFCONs. They probably did. We can check that out, but it's an absolutely brilliant achievement. And the answers we've been given to the answer to our question like what's the president going to do for the Tigress? And I guess it's exactly the same, and it's absolutely brilliant.
The government was boxed into a corner.
Yeah, they were, but it's a good, because for me, I'm particularly enthused about the women. The women for so long have not been given the appropriate recognition, especially the Tigress and the Super Falcons. And then speaking both to, and Charles, fantastic interview yesterday, by the way, with Florence Amabush. I've been wanting to talk to her forever. I think from what Florence said, reading between the lines, and what Judith Chime actually said as well, I think the government, if you guys are not if, I know you're listening, sports people and the NSC and all that, please, I think it would be appropriate if there's some form of 1 to 10 is sequential, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Florence's achievements alone, 4 AFCONs, 4 World Cups, 1 Olympics, 14 years as the Super Falcons, they need to be recognized. You know, I think we can introduce our guest and bring him in because we were having a discussion together.
Yeah. All right. We said yesterday that we have a big fish coming through this morning.
A very big fish.
Would you categorize a whale as a fish?
It's
mama.
It's a mammal, actually. But it's that's a big mama. That's a very big mama.
When you finish the citation, remember the last thing you have to add. And no, there's something you have to add. If I don't know yet, I'll have to add it myself. Where is coming from?
Where is coming from?
I don't understand.
Yeah, best choice. You'll get there.
Okay.
Do you know that this Charles, we have all kind of dirty telepathy and I don't understand. I'm getting tired of it, but it's okay. 2 is coming, 3 is a crowd.
Anyway, our guest is a very prominent Nigerian sports journalist, media entrepreneur. He's also an author with over 3 decades of experience in sports journalism and media management. He's executive director of Medianomics Limited, which is a marketing communications firm. Holds a BSc, MSc, and PhD in mass communications
Akika.
From the University of Lagos.
Now satisfied.
Nothing else matters. Do you know the funny thing? The people that are most adamant at top, that people that went to last one, they now ended up in Unilag.
Yeah, and also has a doctoral thesis focusing on the influence of audience preference on media coverage on domestic and foreign football in Nigeria. Like I said, he's an author of 3 books. The 3rd one is about to be unveiled. Yeah, if I mention the first 2 books that he's written, you'll have an idea, or you'll know definitely who I'm talking about. So I'll go ahead and do it. Number 1, Soccer Talk. Selected articles on contemporary issues in Nigerian football. And the second one, the making of Nigeria's dream team, football gold medal winners at Atlanta 96 Olympic Games. A detailed account of Nigeria's historic Olympic football victory. So, that said, it's been unveiled, yeah? Dr. Mumini Alao is in the studio with us this morning. The big fish I spoke about yesterday, he's here. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Charles. Good morning, everyone in the studio. Good morning, Shegun. Good morning, Femi Farawe, and the rest of the guys in the studio. It's my pleasure to be here with you this morning.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you, Doc.
He left the program's director out. I was informed.
All right.
He's our PD because he will punish us when you go. He's the program director.
And I'll face the one.
Good morning.
I never see person when they like ready bad like this. Your program you don't finish. Go away. You stand there, they think how about me. But talk on the serious note. What I said in my introduction about, maybe our former national team recognizing the labors of our heroes past. Yeah. Do you think we can somehow the government can actually look into that? Maybe give the Super Falcons 1 to 9. Especially those that are no longer playing, obviously, national awards. Maybe not start this, Christmas gifts, which is wonderful.
Well, I think it will be in order for government to recognize them and give them some
from
awards.
Mission 1.
Because everybody is talking about the Mission X. But if we didn't have 1 to 9, there won't be the 10th. So I think, yes, but not cash. Certainly not cash, in my opinion, because even the cash given to the Falcons, I thought it was too much.
Okay.
I didn't have any problem with them. Government giving them cash, but I thought it was too much.
Okay. And
I felt also that the cash should not have been in US dollars. I think it should have been naira. 50 naira would have been good. 100 million naira would have been good. But having done for the Falcons, I think it's completely fair that the same amount was given to the
Tigress.
To the Tigress. So, to answer your question, yes, it won't be out of place to look back to those who have done something similar in the past who are not similarly recognized or rewarded, for government to give them, a handshake, invite them to
presidential,
give them a dinner, and give them national awards as well.
Yeah, I think that'd be wonderful. And a big shout out too. I think Charles alluded to it. Our First Lady, I don't know what's the First Lady, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I think she's shown a marked interest in women's affairs. So there's a possibility that she's the one whispering back this. It's true, it's possible. We don't know.
We don't know.
But we appreciate the fact that the president is recognized, and I like to think that she's had a huge influence on.
But
this.
actually, the president himself is a sports fan. Is a big sports fan.
He's a big, yes.
So
he's
I
a
think,
Man U fan, actually.
Yes, I think these girls, the current sets, they are just very lucky.
True that. Somebody like that is on seat.
Yes, that Tinubu is on seat when they, had this achievement. I don't think they will have got similar recognition or the kind of money that he got if it was the previous president, for example.
I agree with you.
So in life, you can walk in at the right time, and I think that's
life, isn't it? Timing. It's all.
But do we not have a problem at hand, where athletes these days seem to want to don the colors of the nation because of what they can get, and not primarily because they find pride in representing their country?
Well, I can assure you that if you interview our athletes, the majority of them will tell you that they are very proud to represent Nigeria. All right, because they are professionals, and it adds to their value, when they can claim that they are internationals as well. Particularly, the footballers example. I mean, we all know about the rules in the rule in the UK. You have to achieve a certain percentage of appearance for the national team
to assist your work permit
before you get a work permit. So, first and foremost, I think most of them are really, really proud to represent Nigeria. And in the course of doing that, if monetary rewards also come along, why not take it? So I think I've always listened to Charles on this particular issue, concerned about issue of patriotism, coming ahead of monetary gifts and all of that. But I think both go together. It's not out of place really to give monetary rewards to athletes, in my opinion. It's not out of place. But what is important is for us to have let's have some standards.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
And talking about standards, that should come from the NSC. The NSC should be advising the presidency. So I think the presidency should be consulting with the NSC to say what should we do before they come out, with some of these awards. I think with that, because the NSC have a broad view, okay, they know a lot more about other sports that are struggling, or with the sports that we call the lesser known sports. So
other sports that are flourishing as well.
That even these awards, these cash awards, if the presidency had consulted well with the NSC before they made those announcements, perhaps they would not have gone that far. I want to think.
Is there, because when I look at it, especially for the Tigers, trickle down effect. You look at the whole team, and there's not one, permit me to use the term, true Nigerian in the team.
There's one.
Yeah. And
There's one.
all of these girls, okay, who's the person?
Musa Mujanatu.
Okay. So all of these people who are Nigerians, and they have the right to represent.
I think, Charles, sorry, that term true Nigerian is a bit...
That's why I said permit me.
You
heard me now. You heard me.
I heard you, but
permit
it's
me.
a bit...
I think to just say Nigerians in the diaspora.
Exactly, I think that's more appropriate. Because people hear that, and then they... Do you understand? They will hear what they hear.
Well, there's an ongoing argument about, having foreigners represent the country.
But they're not foreigners.
Wait now. They don't. People have made the argument here. They don't understand what it means to be a Nigerian. They don't feel Nigerian. They just come here and, that argument is existent. Even though I might not agree with it, which is why I said permit me.
Right.
If you're listening intently, listen, I said permit me. Yeah? I was talking about the trickle-down effects, How do we now help to build the basketball league in the country? If you had half of those girls actually playing in the league, and you come home to your father and your mother, and you have $100,000 in your pockets, what it does to a family, now we don't have that existence.
Yes, to be honest, I don't agree with those who say perhaps we shouldn't take advantage of our athletes in the diaspora. Sport is competitive, and we want to win. And if you want to win, you select the best that you have available
to you.
And I think we're not going to see the end of this. In fact, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse unless we fix our infrastructure, our sports infrastructure, which will facilitate the local talents being able to realize their potentials. Otherwise, those in the diaspora will continue to beat them to selection in the national team. They will continue to beat them to selection because the coaches you are going to hire, they are going to pick the best, and they wouldn't care where those best are coming from. So, and it's not even a Nigerian problem. Actually, I think it's gone global, in my opinion. If you look at all sports now, look at France, look at Brazil, everybody's going for foreign coaches.
I was even watching the interview of the Senegalese players.
All right.
Half of the Senegalese players actually have come from America.
So I'm not surprised. I mean, look at the last World Cup. We're all celebrating Morocco winning, going all the way to the semi-finals and winning representing Africa very well. But more than half of the Moroccan team
born in France.
were born in France. So I think we need to not separate really, but we just need to deal with the reality, okay, that our athletes in diaspora, because they have, they are exposed to better coaching, better facilities, better opportunities, they will continue to beat the local athletes, okay? Now, how do you take care of the local? But Charles, I'm sorry, let's even go back in days, because I was listening to you yesterday. You mentioned the fact that we didn't qualify for the World Cup until our foreign players started playing for the Super Eagles.
It's when you say that, look at Shegun.
All right, so so we are. This is the reality. This is the reality. So I think rather what we need to do for the home-based athletes, okay, is to come up with programs that will also raise their standard. And that starts with the coaching. Because for me, to a large extent, our coaching is poor. That's number one.
No, we have it on camera.
Please, are you recording?
We have it on camera.
Are you recording?
We have it on camera.
You're recording.
We have it on camera.
Thank you.
We have it on camera.
Yeah.
I have my time and session with you. Even if I have to drag him back to another way you do it.
I think our coaching, we need to improve a lot because it's the coaches that will now produce the local athletes, whether footballers or basketballers and the rest of them. And then again, there's another point that I was going to make. We just keep my mind now. Maybe as we go along, I will remember. Just to buttress the fact that we need to do a lot more for the home-based athletes.
Can I put this in? There's a question about this gifting. Now, we've seen football. We've seen basketball.
Yeah.
Next month, we have World Athletics Championship. Automatically, the athletes have seen everything that's going on.
Yeah.
They also want the same thing, especially if they can pull off a medal.
Why are you fast forwarding? There's Chan. Chan is ongoing.
But you guys have forgotten one common thing, Femi. The thing is, we're talking about winning here. We're not talking about the Super Eagles going to AFCON after failing in the final. We're talking about winners.
So, but we're saying that, can we afford this long term?
Let me just...
If everybody keeps winning.
One of the very... But I just want to say something and flip something that Mumini said. Getting awarded XYZ. But the question is, one of the reasons why it's such a big deal for me when Nigerians win international competitions is by and large our preparedness for that competition a lot of times leaves a lot to be desired. The people we're competing with generally are better prepared, maybe, but what we have is our talent tends to supersede all. So I believe that these players, even athletes, it's a good thing you mentioned athletes. A lot of Nigerian athletes, they don't have the grants, the international things that their probably mates in the US and UK get. Do you understand? So if you come and you compete in that field and you beat them, you deserve it, And then we also, the flip side of that is Nigerian players that there are a lot of Nigerians that play or run or participate in sports for other countries. We will sit down here and say, what we're talking about, this young girl that I'm always defending, Ophili. Is there a story about her wanting to run for something?
Turkey, yeah.
Do you understand? The Nigerians will now condemn her and say she's not patriotic. But then if you mess her...
She's a professional.
Exactly. Do you understand?
And she has to take care of herself.
Exactly. So that's the flip side of people in diaspora, as you rightly said, it's about winning. And
Shegun, that's why I said it will only get worse. I mean, in recent times, for instance, Jackpot has become a big phenomenon.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. So which means more parents, more Nigerians will be having their kids abroad.
Mm-hmm.
And they will be having Nigerian names.
Yes.
And they will be representing Canada, they will be representing United States,
yes.
and so on and so. So it's only going to get worse. So if we want home-based athletes to be able to compete, and have opportunities in the national teams, we have to go back to the basics.
And Charles, you're right about that. Yes, you have to trickle down. Yes.
Those are the two most important things. Look at Morocco in the last 2-3 years. Look at the kind of infrastructure that they invested in, and we're seeing the results. I mean, in the past, the Falcons used to beat Morocco 8 goals to 0.
Yes, they did.
6 goals to 0. But look at what happened. Just 2 weeks
coming
ago.
from 2 goals down.
Okay, so you need infrastructure, you need coaching for home-based athletes for them to be able to have a chance of competing, rubbing shoulders with the foreign-based athletes. Go back even into history, athletics. The Yusuf Ali's, the Adenikens, they were not able to achieve what they achieved until they went to school in the United States.
Yeah, true.
True.
So this has been on the table for long, whereby our athletes cannot really achieve their full potentials until they go abroad, which means facilities have been lacking and coaching has been poor.
Talking about coaching, before we go to the reason you're here, the recent comment made by the former deputy governor of Edo State, who's now the head
NIS
of the NIS now, Comrade
Philip
Schreiber, that the NIS certificates are worthless. How do you react to that?
I think he was just saying the truth.
But did he
I
not?
think
Did
he
he?
was just saying the truth.
Did he give a time frame, worthless for a certain period, or worthless ab initio from the beginning? There has to be.
Well, until we sit down, with him to ask, maybe to have an interview to get the details. Okay. But for some time, those of us who have been following what is happening at the NIS, we always knew that people just go there just to fulfill all righteousness so that I can have a certificate. I'm qualified to be a coach or to be a referee or to be this or to be that. I think the other day we were even talking about referees in Africa, and you have competitions and you don't have a single Nigerian being there. So it's even beyond. So there's so much that we actually need to deal with. All right. So yes, I think he was just being frank, and I'm happy that he realizes the kind of work that he has to deal with. Because if he decided to just coast along, and he didn't face the issues that he has to face, then nothing will change. So for him to realize that, look, the NIS has gone so bad that the certificate is worthless, suggests to me that maybe he really intends to do something about it. We can only hope that that is his plan.
And the only possible solution for that place is privatization.
Absolutely. And I think that had been on the card for quite some time. But, we have a lack of consistency as far as policies are concerned. I remember Segun Odegbami at the time, brought some guys from Australia. They were going to, reorganize the NIS. And I don't know how that ended up. And I think Big Sheg, after some time, he just gave up.
Somebody was fighting back.
He just gave up.
Okay, I did mention that you're an author of 3 books. The first 2, we've spoken about Soccer Talk and the making of Nigeria's dream team. The third one, which will be launched in a couple of days here in Lagos, is an autobiography. Why have you chosen to write such a book, Doctor?
Thank you very much, Charles. Fabio Olanipekun, the former
Of blessed memory.
of blessed memory, former sports director of the NTA. I had the privilege of appearing with him a number of times to do analysis on World Cup. I think I remember in particular France '98. We were on set together for for the whole month. Because I didn't go to France, so I was working with the NTA with Fabio and a few other guys. And the Fabio Olanipekun was what we would describe as a moving encyclopedia. All right. He had everything, the history of Nigerian sport at his fingertips. And I used to tell him, I said, Egbon, you have to write a book. You have to write a book for us, because all this, you can't just go away with it. Mumini, don't worry, I will do the book. Unfortunately, it never happened.
He never did.
So I said to myself that if God spared my life to be 60, I will write a book. Because if I was pushing Fabio back then I should follow my own advice. So for me, that was the first motivation. At least put my experiences, down. Second, my dad kept a very, 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 very detailed file of my birth, my upbringing, my health management, my schooling, everything about my life. And when I left his home, he handed over 3 bunches of files to me.
Wow.
That had my entire
Your life.
My life, before I was born. All right, everything was in that file. And I said to myself, what am I going to do with this? Because I pray for me to be 100, but eventually I will go. My children will just throw those files away. So I said, look, I'm a writer. Let me reduce this into something that's going to be a good story. So that was my second motivation. My children can throw those files away, but it's not going to be easy for them to
share your story.
That book away. And finally, I've been privileged to be part of what we refer to as the best times of the Super Eagles, 1994 up to 96. And we don't have any book, on that period of Nigerian football. So my experiences, I decided to record them as part of that book as well. Also, the story of sports publishing in Nigeria, we also don't have a book dedicated on it. In fact, there should be a book dedicated on that. So it's also part of my story, which is in that book as well. So I've talked about the family angle, the personal stories, my professional stories there as well. So, and I enjoy writing. So I decided to sit down and write.
Your professional stories alone, we probably need different volumes.
Absolutely,
to capture,
I agree with
to
you.
capture everything that you've done, everywhere you've been, who you've spoken with. But for the benefit of our listener, is there any one story in that book that you think resonates, that the listener would hear now and say, I need to go and get this?
There are quite a number, Charles. It's difficult for me to pick one right now, but I think I will pick the one, the confrontation that I had with Clemens Westerhof. Yes, I think I will pick that. When I went to Holland, when the Eagles were preparing for USA 94 World Cup, and I got there, and Westerhof would not allow me to enter the camp. Why? Because I did a story that he wasn't happy about, even though I gave him a chance to get his own side of the story. He was completely upset. He said he wasn't going to talk to me, because the story was actually, I redacted that story from a Dutch magazine, talking about Westerhof's involvement with transfer of Nigerian players, and all of that. Of course, he wasn't happy about that, because conflict of interest. You can't be the national
It was an
coach.
expose, basically.
It was an expose, so he didn't enjoy it, even though I said, give me your own side of the story so I can publish everything. So, because of that, when I got to camp in Holland, he wouldn't allow me into the camp, and I was also very, very upset. I mean, having come all the way from Nigeria, you're not going to allow me into the camp. So, when I got back home, I tore Westerhof into pieces because that was the only way I could also show my anger, more or less, So, looking back, or shall I say, I also said in that book that I knew that I was biased when I was writing that story. Yes, I knew I was biased, and that was the first time in my career. And I decided to go ahead with it anyway. Because I was
you went personal.
I was very, very upset. So the details of that.
Did you edit the confrontation, or did you write word for word the exchange that you had?
Maybe you should get the book.
Yes, obviously.
But my question: did you mend fences with him at the end of the day?
Yes, eventually. When we got to the World Cup, and we lost that final game, the second round game against Italy. I got to speak with him, and he said to me, Omini, because he used to call me Omini. Said we lost the game before we got to the field.
Wow,
that was his position. That we
Which
lost.
one? The Italy game.
Italy game.
Okay.
Yes.
I think there were some things going on.
Yes, a lot went on in the camp.
That's always what finishes us,
before
isn't
the
it?
game. A lot went on in the camp before the game, and so for him, he didn't think we ever even stood a chance of beating Italy, even though we went very close to doing it. So, and he left straight home. He left. He didn't come back to Nigeria after the World Cup. He just went straight back to Holland. Incidentally, his contract had expired anyway, even before the Italy game. So,
which was probably possibly part of the problem as well.
Well, not really. I think he had already made up his mind that he was going to leave after the World Cup. So it was just coincidental that the contract was
but I'm
expired.
thinking from when they talk about the Premier League and all that, when a manager's contracts come to an end, the players are already looking beyond him. Was that a possibility?
Well, club side is different from
national
the national team. So I think he felt that, after 5 years and what he had achieved at that time, he really wanted to leave. I remember that the FA chairman at the time, Omerua, was actually appealing to him to stay longer, for him to come back to Nigeria with the team, but said he was going back to Holland.
But I'm trying to drill down on something. I mean, is it possible? Part of, I don't know what you will know you were there, and you probably described to your book, yeah. But would the players have known that Westerhof wasn't staying, and maybe that's, they didn't pull their weight or something?
That was a factor. That was a factor because for most of the players, I mean, they were already at the World Cup, and for instance, I think Victor Ikpeba, he had a problem with Westerhof before we went to the World Cup, and for me, Victor was on the right because we played a friendly against. I can't remember the name of this Eastern European country now, in Ibadan. In Ibadan, yes. We beat them by 5-0, and Tijani Babangida played in that game, even though he wasn't on the squad going to the World Cup. And he was so impressive that everybody started asking that he should be included. Meanwhile, Nigeria had already submitted a provisional list to FIFA. And the only way you could remove anybody from that list was if he was injured or something like that. And I think suggestions were made to Victor that maybe he should consider that he was injured, and he wasn't going to take it. Obviously, I mean,
was he injured?
He wasn't injured. But that was the only way Tijani could have got into the team. So of course, Victor stood his ground, and he wasn't going to allow his name to be removed from the list. And he went to the World Cup, and he knew from day one that he wasn't going to play a minute.
Wow.
So. And there were a few other players that had some other issues, Westerhof and all of that. So, and they knew his time was up, so they could define him. And
that's exactly what I meant.
Yeah, that's what I said to an extent.
They're looking beyond him.
That's what I said to an extent. You are right. So,
but isn't that myopic? I mean, you're at the world stage. You're playing a former world champion. You're on the verge of winning that particular game and looking beyond the Italians. Should you be thinking about a manager who's leaving? I mean, should be thinking more about yourself and what you're about to accomplish.
Well, before the game, of course, the players wanted to win, and they actually went very close to winning. I don't think it was the Westerhof issue that distracted them. I mean, they were already on the pitch; they were close to winning.
It was mistakes on the pitch,
okay. But I think it was Westerhof's viewpoint that because of the issues that they had before that game, it was going to affect their performance. So that was just his view. So when we lost eventually, he felt he was vindicated.
Okay, so this book we're talking about, how many pages is it?
I think it's close to 300 pages.
Wow.
Okay, that's a good read.
Yes, I think 287 or thereabouts. Close to 300 pages.
Chapters,
about 32 chapters. 32 chapters, because there are two sections. The first section is on my professional career, and the second section is on my private life.
Okay, so this is happening on Sunday,
University of Lagos.
Expected.
Tayo Aderinokun Hall. Tayo Aderinokun Hall in Unilag is towards the back of the university campus, close to the lagoon front.
What they used to call the main auditorium before?
You will go past the main auditorium.
Okay.
You go past the Senate building.
Oh, okay.
And then you go towards the Unilag guest house.
Oh, okay.
And Tayo Aderinokun
you shouldn't have said that. Shagun will not be at the lunch. He would be more at the guest house.
But we're going to have directional signs.
Is this open to the public or?
It is open to
the public.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a book presentation, but there will also be a lecture.
Okay.
We're going to have a lecture by the former governor of Lagos State, Babatunde Raji Fashola.
Oh, yes. One of my favorite people.
Yes, he's going to talk about. Let me see quickly here. He's going to speak on. I actually gave him the topic. He just made a bit of adjustment to it. Rethinking the current football business model in Nigeria as a catalyst for sports development. I will take that again. Rethinking the current football business model in Nigeria as a catalyst for sports development. And the motivation for this topic, when Fashola was governor of Lagos State, he didn't surrender to the pressure for him to sponsor
a club,
a football club, because he felt it was wrong to do so. And I think that's an ongoing debate in Nigerian football, whether state governments should continue to sponsor football clubs. I think the majority view is that, look, we need to go private for us to be able to really
Should they or shouldn't they?
operate professionally. So I felt, let BRF come and advance his argument, and maybe he'll be able to convince some of his, the current governors on the approach that they could
take
take
a step back. Yeah.
Yes, to step back and hand over some of these clubs to private ownership.
So I was going to ask a question about. No, we don't have one.
Okay.
I checked. So there was a period I had a thesis to write, right? And it was about sports. And it was very difficult to get materials because we don't have proper documentation in Nigeria. So my question is, who is this book for? Who are the people that can go through this book and benefit? And I was speaking from my own point as a student, not even as a broadcaster. But who are the people that will benefit from? Because some people are listening, especially young journalists.
Yeah.
And a lot of them now have a certain impression of how to cover this profession. But who are the people that will benefit from reading this?
Thank you very much. I think primarily from the professional point of view, journalism students who want to specialize in writing. All right? I think it's people like you and Charles that will do something for broadcast people, and maybe the Giamato Imbo and the rest of them. Because I have been in the print sequence, all my life, even though occasionally I appear on radio and TV like I'm here now. So my book would be more useful to journalism students in this in the print sequence. Although I also have 2 chapters, one on radio and one on TV, but they are just about my personal experiences, But in terms of using that book as a reference material for maybe thesis, I think it's students in the print sequence that will find it more useful, because as I said earlier on, there is a big section on that period, 1994 to 1996, when we had the rush of sports publications. I spoke to quite a number of my colleagues who published sports papers at that time. Because it was like a bonanza. Nigeria was going to the World Cup for the first time. Yeah. So everybody was publishing one thing. In fact, the vendor table was filled with sports publication at that time. And I have details of that in the book.
And
I
remember that time vividly. That was a primary source of knowledge.
I always hear so much about the 94, the 96, the 1980 teams. But I don't hear a lot about the 82, the 84, the periods when we did not make it, because you learn from your mistakes to get better. Yeah. We always talk about 94, we're victorious. 96, we're victorious. But in 84, we were not victorious. In 82, we were not victorious. In 2004, 2006, why don't we have materials on those periods where our football didn't hit the heights?
I'm not giving an excuse, but 82, 84, and the rest of that, I was still in school myself. I had not started my career. So I may not have the kind of experience to share like I do, when I started my when I started my career. And 2002, 2004, and the rest of, I was no longer a reporter. I'd moved into management. So I would think, as I said, I'm not dodging the question, but if you read Chegbondegwami's book, you will find something about 82, 84, and those early days when we didn't qualify for the World Cup. And I want to think that those coming behind should also do something about it.
Yes. There's a question for you here.
Before you read that, let me just, I don't forget, old age. You mentioned the fact that the former governor will be in attendance. Yeah. I'm sure he's not the only notable figure that will be there.
No, he's not.
Who else are we?
All right. Shehu Diko will be there, the chairman of the National Sports Commission. The NFF president, Guso, will be there. The former sports minister, who is now Minister of Trade in the Ministry of Industry.
Oh, that's good.
Eno will be there. And then, of course, I have some. I'm expecting the king of my town.
Wow!
Yes,
Kabiyesi.
Kabiyesi from Shaki in Oyo State.
Oh yeah.
I'm expecting the governor of my state, Governor Seyi Makinde, for Oyo State. And then my friends and colleagues, family,
Rivals,
yes.
haters.
I'm expecting
MPFL,
the chairman of the MPFL,
yeah.
being by
Yeah.
and Davidson Mumini, all of them, the crowd there, and at the NFF as well, not just the president, the secretary general, and the rest of them. I invited everybody.
I'll make sure I take a picture
sports,
with
in the sports family, and of course our colleagues from the media. So I'm expecting a full house.
Okay, so it's going to be a full house, definitely.
I'll make sure I take a picture with the president of the NFL.
What time are we supposed
It's 1 o'clock.
Okay.
1 o'clock. It's a Sunday, so we had to make provision for our friends that will go to church. So Charles and Shegun, once you finish from church, just come straight to Unilag.
So remember, Shegun, nothing in tow.
No, but what I'm bringing it to, I'm bringing controversy because I will go and sit with the NFF people, my good friends.
But let me ask you this. When we started this work, it was people like you that we looked up to, Paul Bassi, I can't remember his name now. The former anchor of Master Sports.
Jenkins
Alumona.
Yes.
Jenkins Alumona, and so many other people as well.
Michel
Obi.
The late Chris Eseka too.
Chris Eseka as well, yeah, that's true. How do you compare what it was back in your day to what it is now?
Charles, can you really compare? We didn't have the internet the way it is back then, and we didn't have the social media the way it is back then. So that has completely changed the picture, So everybody now is a broadcaster, everybody's a publisher, everybody's an editor, So I think quality, professionalism has suffered as a result of the multiplicity of media. When we talk about gatekeeping in media, it's to ensure that it's only the right things that get published. But now that has been removed completely. So, and I think the world is paying the price for that in terms of when you talk about fake news now all over the place. So, I think quality has really, really gone down. That's my opinion. And that's because everybody have access. There's nothing wrong in having access, but I think it should be access with control. Media organizations should still put controls in place so that it's not just anybody that can go on air or come on screen, but you don't have that control on social media. You don't have that control to a large extent on the internet. So I don't think we can compare our era with what is going on now.
Okay. All right. We'll have to listen to what our listeners have to say. You can call in, put that call across.
Very short.
But just one point though, before we go to listeners, 84 in particular. Yeah. There's one tournament that I really feel that we should know more about. Is that 84 AFCON, where we lost to Cameroon in the final. We took a very young squad, with Stephen Keshi as captain, and it was an absolutely brilliant performance.
Okay. Let me say this. I didn't want to talk about it, but I will mention it now.
And Coach Tinubu in charge.
Peter Rufai, the late Peter Rufai.
May so rest in peace. Amen.
I wrote a book on him, and that book is ready as I speak.
Really? Okay.
And that book will be presented to the public during his funeral ceremonies. And Peter Rufai has in that book, because I interviewed him for 6 months, and I also did additional research for another 6 months. So it took me a whole year to put all the materials together, the interviews with him, and then my own research. So Peter Rufai spoke extensively about the 82, 84, and 88.
88 was
AFCON.
awesome. 88 was
so
awesome.
Shegun, all the things you need to know about 82, 84, and 88, they are in Peter Rufai's book.
Fantastic.
Okay.
82 was more of an unmitigated disaster, defending champions.
So be on the lookout for that.
I will. Thanks, so. Thank you.
Okay, so I think this is 2 questions in one. The first one is from Emeka. The second one will be for this new book. The problem I have with Dr. Mumini's book is how or where to get them, especially the one on Atlanta 96.
Okay. Can I respond to that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The Atlanta 96 book is on Amazon and is also on Roving Heights bookstore. Roving Heights is a Nigerian bookstore.
Yeah.
So if you type in your browser Nigeria's Dream Team, it will pop up. You will see the Amazon link and you will also see the Roving Heights link, and then you can get the book from their bookstore. And the new book will also be the new book is already on Amazon. That's my autobiography. It's already on Amazon. Good morning. And Roving Heights is working on putting up the link for the local sales.
The local sales,
well.
okay.
So, both physical and virtual.
No, it's soft. I'll be hard copy.
The hard
Paperback.
copy.
And I know, but I mean purchasing it.
Yes.
Roving Heights, you can go there physically to get the book.
Physically, you can.
I have a caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Wisdom from Ikorodu.
Morning, Wisdom.
Great work for Dr. Mumini. I've followed him over the years and all the rest, and even Charles and Atlodo and Shegun, and even lately Femi. So the team we played in Ibadan friendly was Uzbekistan.
God bless you, my brother.
Was
God
it
bless you.
Uzbekistan? Or
I'm
was
not
it
sure.
no
I'm
Georgia?
not sure. I think it was Georgia.
It was Georgia.
It was, I
It was
think
Georgia.
Okay, it was Georgia.
It was Georgia.
Georgia.
It was
Yes.
Georgia.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So
God bless you. Tried.
the launching is coming on Sunday, Abi.
Yes.
I'll be there.
Thank you.
Need to meet all of you.
Thank you.
All
We're
right.
going to do a lot of things, sports development, sports business.
Thank
It's
you.
time to restart. Everything will explode. And it
Amen.
will be for greatness
Positive
of this nation.
explosions.
So I'll be
Thank you
there.
very
All
much.
right.
I'll be there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I think I should add that copies of the Dream Team book will also be
That's
available
it.
for
Okay.
sale on Sunday.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, this says, good morning, Dr. Mumini Alao. I saw him last in the 80s when he used to visit one of my uncles, late Sule Abiola, in Lagos Island. I have been so proud of his achievements since the last time I saw him. Please help me ring the bell for him. My name is Nuruddin Chawando.
Which is my command.
Ademola from Shasha goes, good morning, Sports Zone. Also to our guest, Dr. Alao. I want to break down the point Dr. Alao made and expand the view. It's not the national team duty to help the local coach players by selecting them based on local league development. He has a job to keep, and if it will take him going to Sudan or India to pick Nigerian players that are working just to get the result that is needed, that's what he will do. Let the LMC build and develop the league, so any national team coach appointed won't have a choice than to look inwards. Good morning, Sports. I always love listening to Dr. Mumini. I think we should give some accolade to our coaches. I played football in this country at amateur level. I played for Eyimba feeder team back then, the Promising Stars. The biggest problem in this country is facilities and infrastructure. This is Kingsley from Ikeja. Good morning, Sports Zone. I'm so happy listening to Dr. Mumini Alao. I joined in late though. Don't worry, there's a full version on YouTube later. But I know his voice very well. No wonder Mr. Charles said we should be having a big fish in the studio today. I'm so happy and elated that I didn't miss today's show. Well done, guys. Ola in Egbeda. So voice notes. I'm trying to play this one. Okay. All right.
It was not too long.
Hello, guys, in the sports crew, in the sports zone. My name is Olade Jolawade. Thank you for having Dr. Mumini today. I grew up reading Complete Sports. I grew up reading Sports Souvenir, International Soccer Review, all from the staples of Complete Communication, which Dr. Mumini was part of, and also the later Obazu Ujabasi, something like that. It's a privilege to I met him once. I won a prize some time ago. They did a quiz. I went to their office then, I think in the solo, then I picked up the prize. So I want to ask, please, how can I get the books that he has written? Now, the 3 books now. The first 2, and then this one that is about to be launched. I'd like to have it, please. I need directives how to get it. Thank you very much. Dr. Mumini, God bless you. Cheers.
Amen. Maybe say that again. Talk.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the comments. Once again, the books are on Amazon and also on Roving Heights bookstore. Just type in the title. You're either writing Nigeria's Dream Team, and it will pop up, or you put in Mumini Alao's autobiography, and it will pop up. You can also follow me on my social media handles, and you have more information on how to get the books there. Facebook, on Instagram, and X. Just type in my name and you can get additional information on where to get the books. And finally, as I said, on Sunday, all the 3 books will be available for sale. All the 3 books will be on
the University of First Choice.
Thank you.